Hey guys, welcome to the latest Echoes Ramble video. Today, of course, I'm going to be talking about repetitive PVE, or AFK PVE as it's come to be known in high-sec with the Encounters system. As is the norm with these Rambles videos, what's up on screen will be just a little bit of eye candy. If you want to listen to this while you're doing the chores around the house, feel free, put your phone in your back pocket and just listen to a British guy talk. If you enjoy what you listen to, like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. So, going on into the video. As we know with Eve Echoes, with the current encounter system as it is, we have 4 types of encounters. Mining and scanning, which, let's be honest, barely get touched at all. Transport, which does see some use, but still not a massive amount. And, of course, combat. The combat encounters is where the majority of us spend our time in Claralan. Myself, personally, not Claralan. Just gets too busy in there. So, back to the point. The encounters are incredibly bland and boring. You go into your encounter, clean out 3 waves of rats, maybe 4 or 5 waves if it's a higher level encounter, such as the purple ones, warp away, do another one, warp away, do another one. It's as simple as that. It's very mind-numbing, pardon me, just had a minor burp there. So the point is there's no variables with these missions. The mission objectives remain the same, the spawns remain near enough the same, the faction remains near enough the same, unless you're in a region that has conflicting factions, pirate factions that is. Yeah, it gets very all samey, doesn't it? If you throw in the fact that our combat settings in the game zone settings allow us to play it mostly hands-free, it gets boring. You know, no real interactivity, no real reason for us to engage with the game. Hence why we have the AI or golden nanocore. That's NetEase's way of stopping us from getting bored by having us not even interact with the game. So what if we had a 5th type of encounters in the encounter screen? When we go into filter, we add something else. Let's say that something else is called Enforcer. This is just another name I pulled from EVE Online. It might not be even relevant as a name, but we'll just use it as a placeholder here. So with this new encounter system, what could we do with it? Well, the first thing we could do with it is throw in new objectives. So instead of go in and annihilate everything, we pull across some objectives that are clearly inspired from EVE Online. I'll be saying that naughty word a lot, unfortunately, this episode. So we'll pull across those objectives. So the objectives might be rescue the damsel in distress. So rescuing an individual that's going to be dropping in a cargo container. And the mission briefing would hint at where to find that cargo container. It might be in the side of the wreck of a named NPC pirate that you've got to kill. Or it might be inside of a structure that you've got to destroy. It can be as simple as that. Again, another objective could be to go in and destroy a very specific structure or a very specific NPC, and then you can either finish off the group or warp off at your leisure. There are other missions whereby you have to go in and just tank for as long as possible, or maybe rep a friendly NPC until reinforcements arrive. There's a whole variety of things that can be done with these missions. And you can add in all kinds of other interesting tidbits, again, like what is done in EVE Online. For example, in EVE Online, in a number of missions, there are structures that you can destroy. They're not necessarily a part of the mission. There'll be nothing anywhere saying you need to destroy this structure in order to complete the mission. But if you know which structure to destroy, you can get yourself some pretty valuable loot in some cases. So it's worth putting that one out there. Oh, pardon me. Also, NPC sentry towers. I don't know if these are actually found in EVE Echoes. for the most part, I've only seen them in EVE Online to my knowledge. Put some of these into the encounters, have a sentry tower that webs down or warp scrambles our ships at 30 or 40 kilometers. Give us some variety. There's not much more to be said on that particular one. Another idea would be, again, pulling from the naughty word EVE Online. Yes, a very naughty word. Bonus rewards for completing missions under certain times. So at the moment, when we claim an encounter, we have, I believe it's 8 hours, I'm going from memory here, in order to complete that mission. After those 8 hours, the mission expires. Now, what if these particular missions just simply didn't expire? We had as much time to complete them as we wanted, but instead we have a 2-hour bonus rewards window. And inside of that window, of course, we get bonus rewards. Maybe the reward for completing it is doubled. Because again, this is meant to be a casual pick up and put down game, of course. So we don't want these missions to expire too quickly on us, especially if they're going to have increased complexity. But we want to reward people for being able to do these things particularly speedy and optimize their performance. And this is where we have to take into account the AI nanocore. The AI or golden nanocore, whatever we choose to call it, it's here to stay with us. But that doesn't mean it has to be able to interact with every single mission type. In this context, we'd allow it to continue with the regular combat sites, and it would simply be unable to access the missions in Enforcer. The point there being that it wouldn't, it would take a lot more programming and a lot more effort on NetEase's side to get it to independently work with each of these different mission types. So having it restricted to the regular combat encounters, as it is at the moment anyway, wouldn't be that big a deal. And for those regular combat encounters, you can always spice things up a bit, throw in a rare chance of elite pirate NPC spawns. Why not? I'm just going to have to pause briefly. So yeah, those would be my suggestions going forwards for how to make high-sec PvE more interesting. I know what a lot of you are going to say in the comments. You're going to say things along the lines of, why don't you go out to nullsec? Because there's a lot more variables out in nullsec with the special anomalies that can drop and the constant threat of neutrals jumping into system and spicing up your gameplay. Yeah, I agree with you. Nullsec is a much more interesting place to go out and rat. However, it's not for everybody. Otherwise, ISEC wouldn't exist, would it? So anyway, I'll cut the ramble there. As I stated earlier, please like, comment or subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.